What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Brent Venables, Oklahoma Sooners versus Deion Sanders. So Big 12 Media Days happened with Oklahoma recently, and Coach Brent Venables, he took a shot at Deion Sanders on a radio show. Not directly, but did reference Deion Sanders, and I'll show you what he kind of said.
So you can talk about a culture change and, a resetting of the standards and what the expectations are. I gave guys 12 months of grace, and I was unlike Deion. I gave guys 12 months of grace to figure it out. Here's the 3. Go to class, live right off the field, and when you show up over here, man, you show up with respect and appreciation for your opportunity. And if you go 0 for 3 for 12 months, you need a fresh start. So we help 21 guys, give or take, find a fresh start.
So in that clip, obviously, he said, unlike Deion, I gave 12 months of grace, and basically saying how Deion got rid of his players immediately and how he basically did it differently. Deion Sanders did respond, not directly to this, but in general. He said, please read this slowly. I'll never respond to any of these great coaches that choose to target me or my program over here at Colorado. I'm great at walking and talking the talk. If it were truly me, I wouldn't have referenced a Lamborghini. That's hashtag Coach Prime. So Deion just saying in reference about people taking shots. And honestly, I don't think this quote by Brent Venables was made to take a shot at Deion Sanders. I think it was blown out of proportion a lot. I think Venables was using it as an example, like, if I wanted to, our situations are different from Oklahoma to Colorado, but I could have got rid of everyone last year and started freshly. But I gave these guys a chance, and how Colorado's doing it, which they may do it right now. Who knows? They may regret it, or they may like what they're doing. Whatever. Some people inside that program said that a lot of players got screwed over. But right now, this is the way I'm doing it as Brent Venables. That's how he's doing it as Deion Sanders. And I kind of think that's where it's at. There's not really a beef. It was not really a jab at anyone. College football is a unique sport where people can do. It's not all the same type of game plan, not how you build the roster. It's not going to be the same as Nick Saban built the roster. This is all different for every program, different circumstances. So, I just don't think that was really a jab by Brent Venables. But, ESPN, who at times has blown a lot of stuff out of proportion, on the show, pardon my interruption, which has been a show for a long time on ESPN, Michael Wilbon, who's one of the hosts of the show, took a shot at Brent Venables in this little segment that ESPN had.
Comments make him look better or worse?
Well, you're asking me for my opinion on Venables. It makes him look like a sanctimonious college loudmouth, know-it-all college football coach who doesn't like Deion. And so let me talk about who I do and don't like. Deion's out there. Deion's way out there like Saturn's rings with what he's doing in his approach. And I'm going to root for him so hard you would think his last name was Wilbon, to beat all these loudmouth, sanctimonious, self-righteous college football coaches who dislike Deion for whatever reasons. I have my own suspicions. And they don't like Deion. They want to take shots at Deion. I am rooting so hard for Deion. He better win, though, because Deion's way out there. He's way out there. But I'm rooting for him hard. I may go and buy season tickets at Colorado to go and sit in the stands and root for Deion to beat people like the loudmouth, sanctimonious Venables.
So Venables.
So, yeah, that video was a lot. It was a lot to take in. I don't think it was fair to assume what Brent Venables in Oklahoma and what he's doing. I think Brent Venables is not what Michael Wilbon has kind of said to the public in that little segment, has referenced. But, I think it's just a tough situation that a quote that just looks bad on paper on a tweet and it got blown out of proportion. And I think if you ask Brent Venables, I don't think he would say, like, oh, I would definitely wasn't taking a shot at Deion. Yeah, I think this was kind of ridiculous by Michael Wilbon, just because, you know, I don't know if it was the most professional take in the world. And, you know, you can assume whatever, but I just think from that situation and that topic, I don't see how the topic that Michael Wilbon, got to is the one that, like, I don't know, the one that Brent Venables was assuming. I just think this was a college football statement because, I mean, the facts is that, you know, Deion is doing it differently than everyone else, and some people may like, okay, that's interesting, or some people may not like it. So, you know, this is definitely a heavy opinion thing. I just don't think it should be made definitely about like race or anything. This situation just got out of hand, and it spread it like a wildfire on Twitter, and a lot of people, you know, they went and talked about it. And then you had, you know, some Colorado fans going at Oklahoma fans I saw on Twitter. I kind of try to stay in the middle of it, but, you know, you had that going on. And then, you know, I think Brent Venables took more of a shot at Miami on Big 12 Media Days, saying at least we didn't get beat 45-3 to, you know, what was it, Florida State or something, or lose to Middle Tennessee. That was more of a shot. Going to have both views. As Deion's view, is it necessary to, you know, say this quote or say that Big 12 Media Day with a high presence of media? Is it necessary to say that as Brent Venables? I don't think so. I don't think it was like, I think he could have went without saying it. In terms of Brent Venables, though, I don't think he meant any harm by saying this quote. I think he's just talking about the differences in the program and how other people handle the transfer portal and just player management at the end of the day. At the end of the day, too, I really just feel like this is some, you know, we're in July and, you know, the end of July, almost fall camp. You know, this is a thing that'll keep people's minds busy in the off season. There's always something on media day. You know, you had the Jimbo stuff, like with the offensive coordinator, people asking, people putting out false quotes. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that happens on media day, and it's just really a big point where people are like tired. They want the season to be here, but they also want something to talk about, and that's kind of what's happened here. Every single time I feel like we get in a situation, if it was like last year, we had the Jimbo versus Nick Saban, you know, the little debate that they had. You know, you had the Deion versus Nick Saban. Like, you had all of these different, like, little beefs, I guess, in college football world that just really amounted to nothing. Just a big talking point that got the talking heads to talk about it, and it kind of just moved along. And I feel like this one really isn't going to be mentioned again, honestly, in a week or so. But that'll do it for me. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.